Okay, seems I'm live. I don't think anyone is here yet. So this will be more of a message for those who later look in recording. So hey, haven't done a stream for a while. I actually haven't checked when the last time I did a stream. Let's maybe take a look quickly. Let's go to my channel. Live. I was live 4 months ago. So yeah, I do this from time to time to see how it goes. But basically, idea was that this stream will be about Desktop Commander, how to use it, feature requests, questions and answers. So as people will be joining, we'll be asking them what they want to see. I've prepared a list of things that we could do. So as they join, we'll see what they want to do, and I will switch. I do want to spend more time with those who join this time around. But while they are not here, I actually wonder, I was refactoring Desktop Commander a little bit and run into a need to ask for continue. I will need to finish that and switch to what we'll be doing today. Because plan is to tell you about config. We added config. One thing that we can do is to work on improvement of file reading. Idea is to make it like there were on GitHub issues, requests that to rise amount of, like currently there is 100 kilobytes file size limit when you read. So if file is larger, you cannot read it. And I wanted to add paging and make size configurable. So maybe we're gonna do that today. Maybe there will be questions about telemetry. We are collecting anonymous information on how like installs work, errors, what kind of commands you guys are using. There are some comments about that. And we actually have a pull request to firstly add privacy policy. Secondly, I think we actually even merged it. Yeah, we merged it, not released yet. We merged the pull request to allow opt-out of the analytics and improved privacy and added privacy policy. So that's another thing to discuss. Maybe people will have more questions about this and we can discuss. I had a desire to create interactive shells. Currently, each time you run a terminal command, it runs in its own shell. In case of Desktop Commander, but there are use cases that are pretty cool of doing that in persistent interactive sessions so that you can control SSH better. There is TMUX that you can work with even with this one-time calls, just not efficient. And one other thing that I wanted to see was how well Claude will be able to work with REPL environments, which means REPL read. Did I write it right? It's read, execute, right? No, read, eval, print loop. Yeah, I kind of forgot. I thought it should be write, eval, print loop. Anyways, it should be kind of fun to try to connect Claude to this. We want PDF support. We want CSV and XLSX support. And we have some pull requests to merge. We do plan a release tomorrow. It will bring in better file editing, better telemetry with opt-out. And we are fixing some things in setup script and prompts. I actually plan to try to merge most of that locally now. So in the stream, we're going to be using that latest version that we will be releasing tomorrow. Okay, let's see where we are with that. I think it did the things. Here I have an ED. And I want to see if setup works. Yep, it works. think, and it restarted the Claude. So yeah, there are some fixes for how setup work. We find out in errors that we lose maybe 30% of people uh, during setup, but in truth, maybe we are not losing them. We're just not logging right. Okay. Anyways, I've made some changes here. Let's try to first. Let's check. Okay. Let's push it to that branch. Now that it works, this should be this branch. And pull request. We're gonna merge them today. No one in the chat yet. We're gonna merge them today and test more tomorrow. And if everything looks good, we're gonna merge. So checks are going. Yeah, I've pushed the things. Let's just in case also run tests. We have some tests. Oops. Yep, tests are passing. Okay. So we are waiting for a check. Then we're gonna merge. Then we're gonna test another one, which is better prompts. Also merge, and we will use that for the stream. Taking its time. Okay, while it does that, what we can do is we do need to measure though. Okay. Anyways, I think let's go through the list. Config. Yeah, I think we can speak about config. So tell me about config. What values are there and what can we change? So now in chat, you can read and write config values that change defaults with which most of the commands the Desktop Commander has are run. One of them is default shell. You can now change the shell it works in. There is also that, I'm not sure it's really needed. There is ability to allow only certain directories. So this only will block read, write, and search and this kind of commands. There is no full blocking for terminal yet. You can do block commands for terminal. There was, by the way, one more request I now remembered, which was add blacklist directories and files. Because sometimes a person wants to allow only one directory, but disallow reading, writing, or changing one file or maybe one folder. So makes sense. So let's go back. Okay, then we have block commands. So if you block them, then terminal will not be allowed to run them. What commands are blocked? Let's ask that. So yeah, we have also client ID. This is the one that is used for telemetry. There should be also, I guess I'm not in the branch that we have already ability to disable the telemetry, which is interesting. Okay, currently no commands. All right, because I don't block any commands. Yeah, interesting. But by default, there's a bunch of commands that are high level that are blocked. In my case, I don't block anything. Okay. What else? What else? What else? How did this thing go? Yep, we can squash and merge. Perfect. Squash and merge the commits. And now we can switch to another branch, which is prompt fixes. Right. we merge this. It's in the master. Let's go to pull requests, and it's called prompt updates. So yeah, let's take prompt updates. Let's take remote main. Actually, yeah, let's do this. And now to main. You can actually ask the desktop commander to do this kind of things, but okay. Everything's here is good, which means we can merge. Let's test. Tests are passing. Let's actually set it up locally. So I will be using this version now. And I can show you one another interesting thing is of how I test sometimes. Check if in current user folder there is test folder. Go to it or create it. In it, test your read, write, edit, block commands. So sometimes I test I ask desktop commander itself to test its own endpoints after I make changes, which is kind of funny way to. uh, you wouldn't call that manual testing, right? Okay. Okay, let's see what it's doing. So it's reading config. It's checking if there is. Okay. It's creating a test folder. And now it's testing its write file. Reading file works. So it wrote file like this with 5 lines. It read the file. Now it does edit block where it's, yeah, we actually changed, and tomorrow we will gonna release, we improved how edit block works. We are trying to make it so that it will almost never use write files when it's editing files. Before, when it was trying to write and do edit block, it's editing, there is some kind of mistake, and it would then switch back to rewriting whole file instead of just editing. Now what happens is that, and that's one thing. The second thing, it had a syntax where we were like in one string having both the original string that we want to change and the resulting new string that we want to change to. Now we actually made this into two separate parameters. It should reduce errors. And when it actually fails, it now returns that, hey, there were more occurrences than you wanted. So for example, before you could uh, ask to change a line and there are multiple occurrences. We previously would probably just throw an error. Currently, we will tell you, hey, that's how many occurrences are. Do you want to change one of them or all of them? And you need to say exactly how many occurrences you want to change. So it in this case, it decided that I will change line 4 to a modified line 4, and it said, yes, we applied one change. It's now reading to check that it worked. It's writing a file. It's reading a file. Okay, show me how it can fail if you try to change non-existent. If I try to change not existing string or string with small mistake, I also test what happens when there are multiple strings. So let us ask it to demo. So now it's writing a file with a bunch of lines. And now it's trying to a test for, yeah, edit block. So it's trying to change string. This is a placement string, and old string is this string does not exist in the file. and we can see what it returned. Search content not found. The closest match is this, which is only 32% match, which is below 70% threshold, blah, 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 react accordingly. Then it tries to change again, and exact match not found. Okay, it tries again. As you can see, it will not revert to writing full file. Instead, it will learn from its mistakes and continue to use edit block, which for large files is good. It's faster, cheaper, uses less context, and I think it actually then results in less errors. So let's see what happens then. It says that expected one occurrence, but found three when we were trying to replace this is a duplicate line. So it asks you to say how many occurrences you want to change. And if there are less or more, it throws an error. So that's how we made it work. So now it applied successful one edit because the old string now was multiple lines. So we got a concrete line that we want to change up. Like, let's take a look at the start file. What was the original file? We have this is duplicate line, some other content here, duplicate line. So we have three duplicate lines. And now when it was changing the file, it actually included line before and line after to uniquely identify exactly the duplicate it wanted to change. It now read the file and we can see that this is a test file, this is duplicate, some other line, and this is the line that it changed. It was before the duplicate line and now it's changed. So anyways, we done a bunch of these kinds of improvements, which should make it almost never rewrite large files. It will almost always use edit block now, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I have other server that fails. So okay, this is what we have here, and we also improve the prompts, and it works. So what this means is that we can also squash and merge this. We will test it today a little bit on the stream. I'm on the latest version, and I need to remove one of the not working uh, servers. Sorry, let me remove one server that doesn't work. Stop this nonsense. Okay, so that is all I had. Oh, we have a guy joining. Hey, Rafael, are you Desktop Commander user? Oh, and one more, Daniel. Hey, guys. So you probably missed the start. I was mostly speaking currently about the changes that we will be releasing tomorrow, and people who will be watching a recording later will be able to see. But for the stream, idea was to see if you guys have any questions I can answer, or if you have any features you want to be added to Desktop Commander. So are you guys users? Do you use it? Do you wish for something? In meantime, while you maybe are answering, I can go over the list that I had today. So this one we did. Okay. Daniel says that he's listening to the audio low. What does this mean? Your volume is low, my volume is low. Should I boost my volume? Okay, we have a question. German Moreno. Do you have to pay for Desktop Commander? Desktop Commander itself is open source and free, and it's a model context protocol. And it's open source fully. You can use it with free Claude tier. Let's actually see Claude. Price, I guess. So, yeah, you can see that they have a free tier, but free tier only has couple, like not a couple, maybe a dozen requests. There is Pro. This is the one, like this is the tier on which I am, which is 17 bucks a month. For it, you get something like 45 messages in 4 to 5 hours, which honestly is enough for most of the work I do. Oh, hey, Elia, I remember you from our Discord community. By the way, guys, do join our Discord community with the link here. But anyways, back to the answering question. So is Desktop Commander free or not? It is free itself, but you use it with other clients. Other clients like Klein can use local models, and then you're paying for it with your hardware if you can run local models. But for us, it works best with Claude and Claude models. And for Claude models, they do have a little bit of free tier. Most of people will be fine with Pro, which is 17 bucks a month. In my guesstimations, I can easily burn as many tokens in API a day if I use their model with Desktop Commander and API. They also have for super heavy users 100 bucks a month tier, which has 5 to 20 times more uh, tokens and limits. And I remember that I usually, I usually hit, yeah, I was trying to understand whether I would able to hit 100 bucks tier, and probably I wouldn't. With 17 bucks tier, I sometimes do. And we're actually gonna see we're gonna hit it today when we during the live stream. So all in all, like to summarize, Desktop Commander itself is free, but you use it with clients, and for in clients you need to have AI model tokens, and in some cases you pay. I use it with Claude. For Claude, I use 17 bucks a month uh, subscription, which gives me a lot of tokens, more than what I would get from Windsurf or Cursor, in my experience. Okay, so we answered that, I hope. Yes, German? Did I answer that? I hope I did. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions, okay, Raphael is probably commenting to something that I said before. So I was wondering, what feature were you waiting for, Raphael? I guess you will answer later. You're somewhere behind the stream. But anyways, for today's stream, I wanted to answer questions about config, about telemetry, if you guys have any. We just merged telemetry and configs and telemetry opt-out. We merged, not released. We're probably going to be releasing tomorrow. So improve a file reading. Yeah, this is one thing that I wanted to do to optimize how we read. Currently, we have 100K hard-coded limit on file size. In my experience, it's something 1/4 of the chat limit. So you add 4 such files and your chat is done in Claude. That's one of their issues. And I hard-coded it. Idea is to add to config ability to change that default and allow paging. We don't have paging yet. So you could do something like read third part of 500 KB file with 100 KB page sizes. I see someone else asking something. Victoria asking, are you using agentic coding? Uh, I guess depends on what you define by agentic coding. I would define agentic coding when I give a AI some kind of a goal and a way to verify that the goal is achieved, and it will then try to achieve it in a sense that it will go do a thing, run the verifier, see that it didn't verify, and try again. I do use it. I would say that depends on complexity of the task. AI could run in a wrong direction. I guess now she's asking in Russian what it does, what desktop commander does. It gives so desktop commander gives a set of tools in the form of MCP, model context protocol, uh, two chatbots or agents. And we use usually it with Claude. And I did show before, basically Claude is a chatbot. It's a desktop application, and it has tools now with MCP. Currently 30, something like 18 of them are from Desktop Commander, and it can then create directories, edit files, run terminal commands, and in case of like coding, it can do things like it can go install things, write code, run tests, see the tests fail, go change the code, run tests again, and do this kind of agentic loop. That's what the desktop commander does with Claude or others, because you can use it also in Windsurf, in Klein, in Goose, and all kinds of clients that use MCPs and LLMs. I think we should go to some kind of a demo, maybe. Don't know. Let's, in this sense, actually do a quiet demo. Create animated. Actually, let's do it slightly differently. Here is my work folder with a bunch of stuff. I can just copy a path, give it to a chat, say create desktop commander live stream folder, create index HTML with hello live stream animated web page and open it in Chrome. Let's try. So it tries to execute a command. Command is make a directory. It's kind of interesting that it decided to do it through terminal, but okay. So now it's gonna write a file. So it's used terminal command. Now it's using write file command, and it's writing HTML into file index HTML in this folder. It does some CSS and so on. Okay. Yeah, so you can use it almost with anything, considering it can run. So yeah, Victoria is asking if it can be used with N8N, which is agentic framework. And here, like we're done with the hello live stream. But let's answer the question about the NHN. So NHN is agentic coding library that you can use to create agents. Considering this can read, write files, and run terminal commands, it can do almost anything, including writing files for NHN, debugging, running NHN, doing something with it. So in theory, it can do this kind of things, Victoria. I also have more questions. Oh, Rafael is hitting $70 tier in 1 to 2 hours. Uh, Pretty heavy use, heavier than sometimes I also do. I think my record was to hit it once. I had it once. I was working on kind of complex code base and I did hit it in an hour. I needed to wait hours until it refreshes. In that sense, it would be cool to have alternative clients to use it with. Currently, you can actually use it in Visual Studio Code as well. They now have Copilot agentic coding thingy. Maybe that's actually what Victoria was asking. But okay, so you can use it with almost anything. It can run terminal commands, read and write files. With that, it can manipulate NHN and almost anything. Let's take a look at what we got. We got this kind of animated page, hello live stream. There is some even fun stuff at the bottom. Let's ask it to edit it. Use edit block to add clouds. Let's see what it can do in that sense. So now it's editing a block. We can see that it writes first an old string that it's going to be changing, and then it's going to write a new string that will replace the old one. In this case, it is rewriting a bunch of stuff. Not exactly that much. So it's changing CSS. For now, it's probably going to do another edit block to change the HTML part as well. Hey, Vladimir. Thank you. Yeah, we are trying to keep it up. And thanks for all the supporters. I do have people that donate on the YouTube, that people that donate coffee, and we are thinking to add Patreon and GitHub sponsorship as well. Oh wow. Okay, now we have clouds in Hello Stream. So yeah, that is like on the surface what it does. And it even, what that's actually interesting. What did it do? Yeah, it opened it again in the browser, but it can also do, considering I'm on Mac, we can also ask it to do funny things like refresh the browser using Apple script or something. Yeah, it refreshes the page. It can like manipulate even this kind of things. We also looking into maybe supporting it better in Desktop Commander in future, like ability to take screenshots and manipulate. And we are looking into how we could do it also on Windows. Not sure about Linux, kind of tricky. But yeah, on Mac there is Apple script, and with it it can slightly manipulate the applications as well. Okay. So any more questions, any desires of what we could do next? So let's see. So yeah, better file reading. Another interesting thing we can try is to add better support for interactive shells. Currently, Desktop Commander runs each command in its own like shell instance, and when command finishes, the shell instance dies. This is perfect for small automations. Honestly, almost for everything. People very rarely ask for additional things around this, but still, there are things like SSH sessions that are better to be interactive. And I'm kind of interested also to give Desktop Commander access to REPL environments, which means read, eval, print loops, where it will be able to kind of like write a little bit of code, run it, see the print, kind of like interactively code and do interesting things. So this is an interesting thing we can do. Also, we are looking forward to support reading PDFs. Currently, you can read any text files and also images. Take a look at images with Claude. But files like PDFs and CSV and XLS spreadsheet files are not yet supported. We want to add support in the future. And there was also a request to add blacklist of directories and files. We have allow directory list, which means that we can narrow down Desktop Commander to only reading and writing files in certain directories. But sometimes you want to have access to a directory, but still blacklist certain files in it, like maybe environment files that contain keys or something else. Like I want you to work in this folder, but not with these files. Currently, we don't have support for that. So, uh, so far, no requests in the chat about what next to do. Okay. So, okay. So what I was thinking to do that would be the most fun from here for the for the for the stream. Do we want to take a look at PDF files? Yes, no, chat, write something. Okay. Let's start a new chat. Oh, you're using Vladimir with Gemini. What client are you using? And question from Victoria about Linux. There are people who are using it on Linux. I think we have in issues Linux. Did we have Linux here or is it closed? I think it's closed. We need to, I think maybe we have it in FAQ. Linux. Yep, error running on Linux, doesn't work on Linux, and someone actually shared how. No, I remember someone was using it on Linux. I just don't remember where was that. But anyways, we did add better support for Linux. It does work on Linux. And there are people who are running Claude on Linux as well. It's just that there is some kind of... Oh, it was in PRs. My God, we have 47 PRs already. And yes. So, hey, Gregory, thank you for your PR. Yep, so Glenu shared that there is a way to run Claude if you want to on Linux as well. And there is a repo like this. I'm probably gonna drop it into the chat. Okay, let me go through a chat. So PDF support could be a great to have. So yeah, this is what we could try to take a look today at. I see that Vladimir is using Eiderdesk. I actually don't know what Eiderdesk is. Let's see, Eiderdesk. A desktop application for Aider AI. Okay, I will need to give it a try. It's kind of interesting. What's interesting though, if it says uses Aider, then Aider out of the box has ability to read and edit files. Not sure about terminal commands. Uh, yeah, anyways, I will not go into this during this stream. Okay, what else? Okay, so there is a question of Raphael about native code blocks. So use artifact to make animated hello world. So Raphael's asking if it's possible to allow Desktop Commander to edit code blocks that are in this panel. As far as I can say, no. The only thing that Desktop Commander can help Claude to do is to either write this to a file or read a file and make an artifact out of the file. So if we just had live stream thingy, let's copy that's bad. We can say that read this file and show it an artifact. So sadly, you will be forced to push tokens. Like currently, this kind of operations push tokens to artifact and from artifact. So honestly, I don't use that. It would be cool if they gave like ability to bypass getting things into the chat so that we could pass things from artifact directly to files and not, but this is not something that's possible in Claude. Okay, let's read a little bit more. Yeah, there is missing MCP support. I do think they will add it. By now, everyone is adding them in a sense that Google has support, OpenAI has support, but OpenAI has support like in some of their like agenting stuff. I did hear Altman shared on Twitter that they are planning support in desktop chat GPT application, which will be kind of fun. I do expect for coding, Claude will still be better for now, but it will be interesting to see how desktop ChatGPT will use MCPs. So I think this year everyone will be adding MCPs. You don't have MCPs, I don't even know what to compare it to. It's like having a smartphone without App Store or whatever. So did it work? Yeah, so it read the file and wrote it into the artifact that I can actually publish now. Can I publish it? I wonder why I cannot publish it. Because it's still working. What? But anyways, it it pulled the file in and showed it exactly inside of Claude. I usually don't do this because honestly, as you saw, it takes time and I could just open it in the browser instead. So not sure. I'd rather use browser instead of artifacts when I'm using it with desktop command these days. I only use artifacts for drawing diagrams in the chat. Okay, Krishna, hey, welcome to the chat and to the stream. how can I find a way around so that my wipe coding can continue in a new chat or something? Oh, I can show you what I do. So uh, create a plan markdown file. In it, don't know, what do we want to do? Create a plan, markdown file. So usually what I suggest to people is that when the chat becomes long and Claude usually starts to complain, I suggest at this point to save current context and plan into the markdown file, and then you can start a new chat and load that there. So this is what I do these days. I do hope that we're gonna make our own client where we gonna just do it differently, where you can continue chat indefinitely. It maybe will just start forgetting start of the chat, but at least you can continue. Or you can manage what it remembers differently. But for Claude, yeah, they decided on a UX where the chat just stops when they hit 200,000 tokens. But in this case, create a plan markdown file. In it, write a plan for making this hello world even prettier. So we're gonna ask it to create a context file. Oh no, that is not what I wanted. Now it's want to do. Make it with right file. Do not use artifacts. Vladimir said that there is open PR for something. We actually merged most of the PRs today. We're gonna test them and tomorrow a little bit more, see if we want to fix something and release if everything looks good. But we merged most of the things. So we have like opt out from telemetry, better editing blocks, and some setup improvements and some prompt improvements. I think the biggest change that is coming now will be opt out from telemetry and some improvements in telemetry because we are collecting some data on mistakes and errors that happen on install issues, and we are collecting data on what kind of commands and files you guys are editing. So we better know where to steer the product. And also, as we do releases, we in that analytics see that something changed and maybe something is wrong and we can react quicker. But you can opt out now. Not now, we will release tomorrow. You will be able to opt out from telemetry tomorrow. And yeah, and better editing. Okay, let's see what's here. It's writing the file. So it wrote a plan. We can even read it. Like there is a, it writes like current status. Did it write what kind of files it wants to use? I think there is not enough of that. A little bit. But it wrote the plan. And we can just go and load that file. The file is here. We can go to a new chat. It would have been better if it also pulled the files. So we can say read the plan and execute it. So for now, this is what I use. We are thinking about adding something like a native memory bank, but we're thinking of how to do it better in terms of like one of the problems that with AI is that when you tell it to do something, it focuses on it too much, and then your tool can underperform because now it thinks a lot about using memory bank. And if we do a memory bank that is focused on coding, we may focus it more on doing coding, while some other people are using it not for coding, but for working with files. So we are a little bit slowly thinking about how to do it correctly without degrading some of the other use cases. Okay. Oh, okay. So Vladimir was referring to probably a pull request on either desktop or either to support MCPs. Yeah, cool. Cool. Okay, so Krishna, so you suggest a new MCP client which can handle chat sessions if it is out of context. What do you think Lowable or other SaaS use to build end-to-end apps? Okay, I guess the question is what I think about using Lowable. I think for web applications, Lovable is not bad. I haven't used it for a while. I did test it maybe last time. I kind of dislike, I think there is style in how applications work and maybe philosophy. The philosophy I see in Lovable is to go at very small steps that are very reliable. This is not for me. I kind of like to run wild. I wanted to make a big thing. It should be still somewhat reliable. It's probably gonna do wrong things, but but mm, so anyways, I prefer where like here that Claude goes and does big things, and then I use those big things to tell Claude what I want to happen. I don't want to go with the small steps. I want to go, how to explain it? Uh, I think there is UX problem with AI where AI cannot read your mind. When you need to write an application, in reality, you need to write a lot of description of what you want to happen, uh, which honestly most people won't do. Uh, On the other side, if you tell a little bit to AI, it will make a lot of assumptions for you and do a lot of things that you didn't want. So the question, what do you do between those two? And the solution is to give it examples. So if you give it example that I want Twitter, it will go and try to create Twitter, but probably still going to be somewhat wrong. In my case, I kind of more like this in a sense that, hey, create for me Twitter and create me Facebook. I like this in your Twitter implementation. I like this in your Facebook implementation. Now make a child of them that uses those both and doesn't do ABC. So instead of communicating with the AI in books, you communicate with the AI in examples that you give it that are large. And in that sense, for me, Lovable is rather something where you work in small steps, which I don't like. I like, okay, create something big for me. I will tell you what I like and dislike about it, and let's do in broad strokes, not in small ones. So this is what I think about Lovable, but otherwise, Lovable is there are some things that I think are good about the approach that Lovable is making, and they are reaching success. Like people more works, people speak about it more and more, and they speak less and less about Bolt and uh, Replit, which is interesting lately. Okay, next. Victoria, Claude has a lot of white papers coming out on coding almost every week. Yeah, I'm not really following that this much because oh, there are so many papers, not only from Claude, uh, a lot. Okay, change the name to something short. Oh, okay, you mean the name and the config. So as Word wants us to change Desktop Commander name to something smaller because it's too long to write in chat. That's an interesting thing. I will write it down. I like it. Let's write it down, and we're probably gonna do it soon. I like that. We will not yeah. So we will gonna change it in the name of the tool and in prompts. Yeah. Okay. So make name of desktop commander smaller in Claude so it's easier to write when you want to ask Claude to use desktop commander. Okay, I've written that down and we're gonna do it at some point. Maybe today, maybe not. We are almost an hour in into the live stream. Okay, so while Claude is sleeping, yeah, one other thing I kind of dislike lately about Claude, they are not really having a very, uh, I don't know, like they show that it's kind of reliable, but they are having like down, like it was down for 2 hours, it was down for hour, it was down for hour, it was down for 2 hours. I guess also something like an hour, so it's like regularly down, and it was down today. I think it's not down now, is it? Let's try to refresh. Okay, Kaspers is asking, what is the main real-world use case of this MCP? For me, I use it to give access to Claude to local files. As I'm myself a software engineer, it helps me a lot to give Claude access to, I think it's actually down. Wow. Let's restart the application itself. But in my case, I use it for, no, it's not down. In my case, I use it for reading code, drawing diagrams. Like we can do what? I can show like my one of the most like famous, not famous, one of the examples that worked pretty well. Actually, I'm gonna go to code. Let's copy the repo folder. Let's say that explore this repository, graph diagrams that show how it works. Okay, so for me, I use it a lot to explore and plan work around code. I use it to write code. I use it to set up things because it has access to terminal, so it can run commands, it can install things, it can run things. So I can, for example, send Claude into a loop where it will change code, run tests, see errors, change code again until it passes the tests. In this case, you can see that it's listing files, it's reading README, it's reading package.json, it's now listing files in source folder. So let's see how far it's gonna get, but it seems like Claude is having some issues. Like doing this in the evening is kind of hard to some extent. Like it's my evening in Europe, but it's kind of morning or middle of the day for US, and the US uses these tools a lot, so that load on Anthropic is higher during this time. Okay, so Victoria is reacting to my comment on AI doesn't know how to read your mind. Yeah, well, the spouse has more memory than Claude, sadly. Claude has 200,000 tokens. 200,000 tokens is something like what? I don't know, a book. And our spouses usually need to remember more or know more. Okay, so it's reading more files, like server. Yeah, reading more files. At some point, it will get satisfied and decide, okay, it's time to draw the diagrams. Okay, now let's take a look at Terminal Manager. So it goes and reads a repository for me. Really helps with repositories I don't know. For example, I did that with OpenAI Codex. That they released a terminal application, and I did explore how that works. This way, I just gave it to Desktop Commander, said, hey, go and read it, show me how it works. And then I ask more questions. It reads more, draws more diagrams, helps me to understand quicker what others are doing in open source. You're welcome, Sword. Yeah, we'll try to make a smaller name. So we are starting to get some diagrams. So it read the application, it it wrote a high-level diagram. Let me maybe do it a little bit like this. And it goes. So there is Cloud Desktop App, MCP protocol, MCP server that uses session management, configuration management, manager. It has tools such as terminal tools, search tools, text editing tools, file system tools, and there is operating system where there is file system and terminal and processes. So it can run terminals, processes, it can kill them, it can read from them, they can be long. I am doing a little bit of experimentation with using a FFmpeg in terminal to edit videos with Claude. And it helps a lot in this way to work with code. So it can edit code, it can change code, it can run applications and code and tests and whatever. And it can, yeah, write applications for you. Okay. So yeah, this is one of the use cases. Explore a code base. So let's do another thing. I think someone said that PDF support would be cool. Let's maybe give a quick try to add PDF reading support. Actually, let's use the same chat that we used just now. It just learned about the Desktop Commander. I have another one here called Write Data, which allows Claude to search things. So let's do an exploration. Ok, can it read PDF? If it can not, how can we allow it to read PDF and return to Claude as Markdown files or HTML files as markup text? Let's see what it's gonna do. Yeah, thank you, Sword. We actually hear this a lot. So Sword shares that he uses it for production-ready web services in finance, and he's not using Cursor anymore or anything else. It was similar to me. I was using Cursor last year. I didn't really like it. It works, it's great. Some people really like it, not for me. When Windsurf came out, I liked it way more. Still not perfect, but I switched to it. And then when I switched to it, MCPs came out. I already had some code like this. Oh, no, 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 no. What you are doing? Don't use artifacts. Do not use artifacts. Use file writing, reading, editing, and terminal. So, but let's see what it suggested. So, implementation steps. So yeah, it looked at MIME types. It said that it doesn't. Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's one other UX thing I didn't like. What did I block? Create directory. So it's adding a PDF reader. I'm not sure I'm gonna like the way it's gonna do it, but we can see if it works, and if it works, we can refactor later. Okay, I see a question from Vladimir about three-seater. Yeah, so I'm looking at it and deciding not to so far for three-seater because we already have textual search and textual reading. I don't think like so what maybe for others who are watching, what is it a three-seater? Maybe not everyone knows. So currently Desktop Commander works with everything as text. For coding, code is very syntax structured and you can parse it. So it has a structure, and the structure could potentially help LLMs to work better. For example, you could then ask, hey, what are functions are there? Change only function, or where is this file used, or where is this variable used? I am not sure LLMs are actually very good at using it, this kind of thing. I know that there are other tools out there that try to use three-seater in that format. One thing that I heard, I think maybe from actually you in Discord, that three-seater could help to get at a glance a view on the repository. I'm not sure that is that much better than just getting a hierarchical directory list or something. So I don't know. Like in my tests and my understanding of what kind of features three-seater could provide, I don't see very good benefits over what Desktop Commander already does. And I still thinking of whether what we can do. Maybe we can do something simpler. And then there is another problem with three-seater. Three-seater is firstly coding oriented, and secondly, for you need to install separate servers and tools for each separate language. And then if now Desktop Commander doesn't rely on something like this, and it can work with any language, the moment I add three-seater, we need to support a list of languages, and languages outside of it will not be supported and maybe will underperform in comparison to how they work now with Desktop Commander. So I honestly worry about a lot of issues that like three-seater will give, like the way I see it, three-seater gonna give me a small benefits and a lot of problems at the moment. So I don't know, maybe as an experiment at some point. Not yet. It's not like super clear cut that it's a great next feature to add. What is it even doing with PDF support? Let's actually take a look at what it's doing. What the hell is that? I'm interested. PDF parse and turn down. So okay, it decided to use these libraries. But we don't need that like this. I wonder why the hell. Run build. So that's not how you do it. Instead, you should have changed the package JSON. Okay, instead of sh script, you should have done npm install to add those two package JSON. Run that. So let's ask it to just add those libraries to package JSON and install them as is. I'm not sure why the hell it needed this script. So now it's running installation and it's checking on how installation goes. It run, it's checking package JSON that it's there, everything's okay. It's executing build now. We don't need build. We're gonna do something else. Or run tests from package JSON. Let's see if it's gonna be able to run tests. What it's doing? Build. Oh, there was an error in build. So this is where it starts to do somewhat of an aged coding. It's building, detecting error, editing stuff. The build succeeded after the changes it did. Now it's modifying PDF reader implementation to use the actual package JSON that we installed. Okay. I wonder why it's doing this as a full file though. Should have done edit blocks, but it does edit blocks when needed. Okay, what else? Future of Desktop Commander. Kind of hard to keep track. We are updating things for public roadmap. We're just collecting ideas and we are deciding how we're gonna go about this. I would say that for us, priority at the moment, yeah, to add highly requested features, but we're also going and interviewing people, how they're using it, where they're finding problems. We are also taking a look at what we want to do around finding monetization, because currently I'm myself personally work on it maybe around 1 day a week, which is a little bit slow. My partner works more, but finding monetization for the project would allow us to work on it even more, which would be great. And it's just going. This is kind of interesting. So if you guys remember, Claude on $17 a month gives you 45 messages in 4 hours or 5 hours. This is one message. All of that is one message. So do not use artifacts, use file writing and editing and go. It's like techie config, it's creating directories, and it's like editing, writing, searching, running. Oh, actually, I was wrong. Here's the message. But anyway, still, oh, what? Okay. Next steps. It even proposes next step, adding image extraction, implementing page selection functionality, adding OCR, which would be cool, improving table structure preservation and chancing, but you did something. Let's go and by hand do npm run test. Okay, tests are passing, so it didn't break anything. Okay, let's try to actually run it now. npm run setup. And let's actually go and find the paper that Victoria mentioned. Latest long anthropic research papers on coding and AI. AI impact on, I want some kind of PDF. Research. I wonder if Victoria, you're still here, maybe you can tell us where to get the PDF to test on. Tracing the thoughts, read the paper. It's an HTML paper. Do they have a PDF version somewhere? Okay, PDFs of anthropic research on AI coding. Can we find some kind of search gate? Is it anthropic? Doesn't seem like. But anyways, we just needed some document. So let's download one. Okay, now we have a PDF document. It's in my downloads. Let's get back to it. This one. Read this PDF. So this is full YOLO light coding. I didn't even read what it did. Failed to read PDF and YOLO didn't work. Okay, let's actually take this error. Let's go to the chat we had and say that when I run this, I get warm. So we didn't install all the dependencies, it seems. It's checking if it's there. So yes, Sword commenting that monetization is good. One day a week is also good. Slowly but steadily is better than stopping at all. Well, we are also in a world where things change very quickly. I don't think today's going slow is a good idea. And that's one thing. A second thing, I would say that my philosophy in that sense is that uh, we are fine for you using the tools for free while you're starting. Maybe you're a student, a teacher, or a freelancer or whatever. But the moment you start to actually earn with the tool in a way where we contribute to you being able to earn, I think this is a time when we would like some kind of a revenue share type of a thing. So, like, if we are helping you with your work, maybe you can spend some of your budget to give it back to a tool that helps you. So we do look for some kind of ways to monetize. We don't think we want to monetize on individuals, but we are looking a little bit and communicating also with businesses that want to use this kind of tools for their employees. And those we probably gonna charge. And if we get to that situation, then the tool will be developed, continue to develop. There maybe will be some paid features for those businesses, but this is something that we're exploring, and we need to spend time on it instead of working on Desktop Commander as well, but with the aim to actually have a better future for Desktop Commander in the future. So let's see. But is it in package installed? Hmm. It added output format. That's actually what I wanted to do. In a sense that we some time ago added a feature where you can read files remotely. Uh, but if you're reading HTML page, you're getting a lot of JavaScript and other things that you maybe don't want to. Maybe you just wanted to read the text in a page. We don't support read formats yet, but now it starts to edit. And it will be cool that we have text format, markdown format, ability to read HTML page as HTML or as markdown or as plain text. So it seems like it went the same direction I was thinking, just on YOLO. Yeah, okay, so it's probably didn't add it to installation, so this is why we had problems. I think it finished, so what we could try to do is to try firstly run tests. Tests are still passing, good. Let's try to set it up again. It's restarting the Claude. Let's go to the chat where we tried to read the file and ask it to try again and see what happens. So check that file exists. It tries to read it. Wait, why is it doing that? I mean, I fixed issue read file with read file, not terminal. So Passion Brains asked that, is it like Cursor AI Desktop? I'm not sure what do you mean by Cursor AI Desktop, but Cursor Editor is kind of similar. It's focused on coding, while with this you can work with files. You can run terminal commands in like better way than Cursor can. And also, a lot of people reach out to us saying that even in coding, it actually performs better than Cursor. But I would probably say that it depends on what you're doing, in a sense that for certain type of work, this is working better than Cursor. For some other cases, Cursor works better. So I would rather, in your case, try both and see which one feels right for you and succeed more. But our users reach out and say that they are not using Cursor or Windsurf because they like it. I do think they just don't reach out. I do think there are people who tried us and prefer to stay with Cursor. Michael Jensen asked, can I elaborate on best practices for security? Currently, we do have ability to block commands. So you can block terminal commands that you worry about. Like, for example, you can block ability to remove anything. And you can actually go and chat with the Claude about it. You can also limit what kind of files can be read and written. There is allowed directory list. I would, let's see, actually, sorry, I will take my time, Michael. I will get back to your questions. I want to finish with the PDF thingy. So it's what? Hmm. Still not working. So wipe coding session slightly failed. What? Interesting. It currently returns a weird error. Okay. So it ended up using actually terminal to read the file. How did it do that? It used PDF to text command. So it can read PDFs through terminal. We do want to give it support natively, though. So we will work on it more, probably not on live stream though. Because now from here on, you would need to go and a little bit read on what it did. I do have a suspicion what happens here. I just don't want to spend time on live stream though. Depends. But it seems like the library we're using, making a copy of the file, does something and something goes wrong. I'll need to check what the hell is happening there. So, okay, let's go back to security. Um, so let's do what? Let's start a new chat and check config. So we have config for Desktop Commander. Currently for me, I think it's empty. No, it's not. I have this as a default shell. I have client ID. There is some kind of test key that we actually don't need. And you can see I don't have any blocked and allowed directories. What we can say is that I am on Mac, what kind of terminal commands are dangerous? Can you add them to list of blocked commands? So you can just chat with it. You can ask it to block types of commands or directories or whatever that you don't like. In my case, I usually know how to tell it what I want from it to do. So it's a little bit limited, and usually it follows instructions well. So if I ask it to work in some kind of a folder, it will stay in that folder, usually. Oh, okay, Gregory is commenting that I'm missing some kind of file on what I did with PDF. But anyways, for now, let's speak about these kind of things. So I asked it, and it proposed to set this kind of commands as prohibited. And we can see that there are like recursive removal commands, format disk, chmod commands, find delete. I think it made somewhat of a mistake though. But let's say, okay, run shutdown now, because we just blocked it. I hope I will not drop from the stream. And you can see that command is not allowed. So we block the command from running. So this is for now what we're doing. We are looking into even better security. We're thinking about adding ability to like run this kind of things inside of a Docker. So you can like go wild and ruin your Docker instance and start a new one. But for now, you work on your machine. It's easier, and if you're not asking something dangerous, then usually it's okay. Plus, for some of the dangerous commands, usually you will need administrator permissions, and Claude will not be able to do it. So this is where we are currently on security. As you saw, I run it without any kind of security on myself. But yeah, we're looking into support of this kind of features, usually probably for business clients though, who worry about this more. Otherwise, like I don't use it with anything blocked. But I may have slightly better understanding of what not to ask uh, in that sense. Like I actually heard someone ask it, clean my computer. And Claude with Desktop Commander actually did it, but I would be a little bit afraid to ask it because I have no idea what it will decide to clean. That was a little bit crazy for someone to do, in my view. Okay. Uh, so about PDF. Uh, I was curious if it's gonna succeed. I was actually planning to use slightly other libraries than it ended up choosing. So we do plan to add PDF support over the next weeks, probably slightly in different way. So we are on stream for something like hour and a half. I think I would like to actually start to wrap up. Let's take a look of what we have in the list. You guys still have a chance to add something to the list if you have something that's missing on our like radar in that sense. And I'm also curious if you would like more such streams in the future. Oh, maybe one more thing to say about recommendations of how to work with security and Desktop Commander. So this is a chat where I asked about this and I gave it permission to change the values in config. But I would then not continue working in the same chat because I don't want to be editing and running commands in the same chat where I allowed it to change the list of allowed commands. Because it can try to run the command that you disallowed. It will see that it's not allowed and it may decide that it wants to give itself allowance to run it. So I usually would edit config in one chat and then work in the other. And in the other chat, not give it permission to change the config. This is like one of the recommendations for how to work with it in Claude. Okay, let's take a last look here. And otherwise, I think let's wrap up. I hope it was fun, and I hope you're gonna give it a try if you haven't. Also, maybe join our Discord. We have something like over 200 people sharing prompts, ideas, projects. Okay, question from Barrow, if I plan to monetize or I do it for fun. Both. I do it for fun, and we are looking into monetization. But as I shared a little bit moments ago on the stream, my philosophy is that we don't want to make you pay unless you are earning with us. And the moment you are earning with us, we would expect you to start paying, but we will still need to find exact right way to do it. This is my philosophy of where we want to end up with this project. So if you're a student, if you're not earning with us or anything like that, use it. Otherwise, if you are actually starting to earn with us and we are boosting your ability to earn money, share some of it with us. We are part of your success and you could be part of our success. That's how I look at this. Okay, thank you. Uh, Andersenterel. I guess that's how you pronounce your nick. Yeah, I will see. I experiment with live streams like this from time to time. If they are good, and I got some feedback, we tried a couple of things. I think I answered a lot of questions about Desktop Commander. I think, considering this one was good, I think we will do them. I don't know, once a month, couple times a month. We'll see. Okay, it's kind of late on my side. I hope you guys had fun. Join Discord. You can find it on our page and join the Discord where we have a bunch of people. We have like prompts, ideas and feedback, use cases. We are sharing stuff. Join the Discord, try the tool, and have fun. And see you on the next stream or next video. And goodbye.